Hey, it's Steph, and welcome to Steph and the Storytime Crew. This is where we dive into silly, sparkly, totally not boring adventures with all of your favorite animal friends. You can listen whenever you like, breakfast time, bedtime, car rides, or even while you're pretending to clean your bedroom, but actually building a bum-shaped pillow fort. Don't worry, I won't tell Mum and Dad. This story is about two of my great friends, Winnie the Walrus and Savvy the Seal. Winnie's real name is Winston, but that doesn't go with his vibe, so he prefers Winnie. Winnie is a walrus who truly believes he was born to dance. There's just one teeny tiny problem. Winnie has about as much grace as a hippo on roller skates. Can you imagine a walrus dancing? Now, Winnie was no ordinary walrus. He was dramatic, he was determined, and he truly believed he was destined to be the greatest dancer the ocean had ever seen. Winnie would say, puffing out his whiskers proudly. My name is Winnie, Winnie the Walrus, dancer extraordinaire. And then, without fail, he'd try a grand bow. He'd trip over his own flipper and he would face plant straight into the sand.
Ouch.
Luckily, Winnie had the very best friend in the whole wide world. Her name was Savvy the Seal, and Savvy was the sweetest soul in the entire ocean. She had this magical energy about her. She loved pink seashells, the color of sunsets, and most of all, her friend Winnie. The thing is, Savvy had no idea how clever, kind, and sparkly she really was. Everyone else saw it though. The crabs, the dolphins, even the grumpy old turtles. Animals just felt better when Savvy was around. She was like the ocean's warm hug, but Savvy, she just thought she was a regular old seal. Spoiler alert, she was absolutely not regular. Whenever Winnie flopped or fumbled, Savvy would clap her flippers and say softly, "Don't give up, Winnie, you can do this. I believe in you." Winnie didn't just like dancing. He dreamed of performing in the Great Ocean Talent Show, where dolphins did backflips and seahorses juggled seashells and jellyfish twinkled like disco balls. And Winnie wobbled a lot. He practiced on the beach, in the shallows, even while brushing his tusks. Savvy always sat nearby, watching the pink sunset, building spectacular sandcastles that were nothing short of masterpieces, and searching for more pink seashells, all while cheering him on. But Winnie's moves didn't quite work out the way he imagined. He'd try a pirouette and spun so fast he launched a crab into the air. He tried a moonwalk, but scooted backwards straight into Savvy's sandcastle. Splat. And once he tried breakdancing, which ended with Winnie rolling in circles until he was dizzy and flopped flat on his belly. Ugh, Winnie groaned. Maybe I'll never be a dancer extraordinaire. But Savvy just smiled, her eyes soft like the sunset. Oh, Winnie, you already are extraordinary. You just have to keep going. Finally, the big day of the talent show arrived. Tina the toucan, the dramatic host, flapped her rainbow wings and squawked into the seashell microphone. And now, give a round of applause for Winnie the Walrus. The crowd cheered. The spotlight shone straight on Winnie. Winnie waddled onto the stage, his heart thumping like a drumfish. This is my time to shine, Winnie thought. Oof, no pressure. He swallowed hard. You've got this, Winnie, whispered Savvy from the sidelines, holding her pink seashells for luck. The music started. Winnie puffed out his chest as he took his spot on the stage. He started his routine. He shuffled to the left, and then he hopped on his flipper to the right. Oh, this is going well, he thought to himself. But just as he thought everything was going swimmingly, he tried a twirl, and he rolled like a barrel straight into the orchestra. Crash went the clamshell drums. Honk went the trumpet fish. Boing went the jellyfish dancers. The crowd gasped. Winnie froze. His whiskers drooped. Oh my goodness, Winnie thought to himself. This is a total disaster. He covered his eyes with his flippers, wishing at this moment that he was anywhere but here. So much for being a dancer extraordinaire, he thought to himself. More like Captain Clumsy Flippers. But then he heard Savvy clapping her flippers from the side of the stage. Keep going, Winnie, they're loving it. That's when he heard some giggles bubble up from the back row. And then some more. And then some more. Soon the whole ocean was laughing, not unkindly, but joyfully, with bubbles streaming to the surface. Savvy clapped her flippers. So Winnie flopped to the left, rolled to the right, and wiggled his whiskers in time with his butt. And he belly bumped across the stage to round his dance number out. The crowd went bananas. Sid the seal shouted, "Go, Winnie! Shake what your mama gave you!" And just like that, a brand new dance craze was born. They called it the Winnie Wobble Wiggle. Even Tina the toucan gave it a try, feathers flying everywhere. And Savvy, she was so incredibly proud of her best friend, and she laughed so hard she fell off her seat, pink seashells flying everywhere. And as the crowd continued to go wild for Winnie, Savvy quietly thought to herself, maybe I'm not so regular after all. Because being the kind of friend who believes in someone, well, that feels pretty magical. Winnie couldn't believe it. His disaster had turned into the best moment of the show. Actually, it was probably the best moment of his whole entire life. Later on, him and Savvy sat on the sand watching the sunset. Winnie sighed happily. Maybe I'm not the smoothest dancer, Savvy. Savvy nuzzled him gently. No, Winnie, you're better. You're you. and no one's youer than you. And that's what makes you extraordinary. Winnie leaned on Savvy and said, "You know, you're kind of my superpower, Savvy." Savvy blushed. "Who, me? But I'm not the dancer extraordinaire." "Exactly," Winnie said with a grin. "You don't have to be the center of attention to shine, Savvy. You just shine naturally." Winnie and Savvy realized something very important. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to be brave. Brave enough to show up as yourself. And sometimes the biggest wobbles turn into the brightest wiggles. And as Winnie drifted off to sleep that night, the waves rocking gently against the shoreline, the stars twinkled like disco lights above, and his whiskers curled into a sleepy smile. He had danced like Winnie, and that was more than enough. So, little legends, the next time you feel wobbly or shy, remember Winnie the Walrus. Do a wiggle or a flop or own your special moves, because dancing like you is the best kind of dancing. And that's the end of today's adventure with the Storytime Crew. Thank you for hanging out with us. You were awesome listeners, little legends. Remember, the fun doesn't stop when the story ends. You can take a little sprinkle of today's magic with you, whether you're playing or drawing or just doing your thing. Oh, and don't forget, every time you giggle, imagine Steph and the Storytime Crew giggling right along with you. Until our next adventure, keep being curious, keep being kind, and keep being your brilliant self. See you soon. Bye.